It feels so weird when something that you used to do before, something that you were so dedicated and kind of certain that you're gonna be continue doing this, like keep on doing this for at least like months or years, like consistently. And it turns out to be another task of yours, like in a day, you feel like you're obligated or you feel pressure to do it instead of you enjoy doing it. And recording video kind of has been something like that for me, especially lately. As you could clearly tell, but I used to upload videos at least twice every single day. I like every single time I come back from gym, I record it once, and before I go back to bed, I recorded another video. And nowadays, I yesterday I skipped one, and I'm not kind of being the kind of version of myself that I wanted to be before. And I realized this thought process, this pattern of thought process behind every single act that I do, every single when I'm doing something that I don't like, and when I'm doing something that I like, that I enjoy. And it's that simply when when we are doing something that we like less friction or literally like no friction at all, you tend to just completely shut the door. Like you just shut your brain on thinking how long will it take. So you forget about you just stop thinking about the things that will cost you. So for example, scrolling, you could be scrolling or meeting up with your friends. Of course, there are some difficulties, like you gotta wake up early or like you gotta kind of prepare yourself hours prior, or you gotta be in like presence with your friends or your friend in like physically. So you gotta get there at the right time. Like so, there are small little things that you have to do, but when the reward's like way bigger than the sacrifice that we make, what our brain does, especially like at least for me, I realize that I just simply don't think about that at all. And also another thing that I relate to this idea is that with every single time when one makes a really dumb mistake, or whenever I make a really dumb mistake, whenever I do something that I'm not supposed to be doing at that time, I realize that you just don't think. Like they are not dumb. People are not dumb because they make dumb mistakes. People just don't spotlight, like they don't even consider thinking like that. Thinking, reconsidering doesn't even come across a consciousness because they are so desperate in avoiding something, or they're so desperate to get the hit, like this sudden instant gratification from this thing that they all usually do to get quick dopamine. So it's not about thinking. It's not about thinking twice. They don't even think once. Like we don't even think once when we are doing something that we want because it literally has cost zero, no friction. So you're not even aware of doing that. You just subconsciously do it every single day. So and vice versa, not vice versa. Like in opposed to that, whenever we are trying to do something that we don't want to, studying, it could be something that cause lots of sacrifices or frictions, something that our brain hasn't developed the kind of path that we have with other things that we enjoy doing. Then what we do is we focus on the cost, but the sacrifice and everything that it costs to develop that pathway, in our brain. So that freaks us out, and it makes this imaginary image on that thing. So it gets even scarier and bigger than it actually is. So I feel like every single time, like nowadays, whenever I feel like I cannot do something, like I know I have to, but I cannot do it, then the first thing that I do is just read something about it. Like I don't immediately put myself into the action because I know for sure that's just gonna make friction to the most, like to the maximum level, and it's gonna just make my brain kind of freak out and make me freak out, and I feel like I cannot do this. Like it's just way too difficult. Look at me wasting time, like hours doing nothing, kind of thing. I'm gonna start ruminating. I know for sure. So I just split. So you know if I have to solve some calculus problems, then what I do is just read sub topics around it, like some because reading is just what I like. So you can just enjoy reading when it comes to a topic that you enjoy doing. So you just kind of put yourself um into this exercise, but not exactly that exercise since you're not actually doing it. So but at least you're kind of training, kind of warming up, like before getting into it. And another thing is that like when even in gym or anything, when it comes to building a new habit or building new skills, like learning or studying, like learning itself, I feel like we overestimate overestimate um our capacity, our our capacity when it comes to the things that we don't really think about. Like so, oh yeah, I could do that, I could simply do it if I wanted to. That's the dangerous thought, my friend. Like seriously. Like that's the thing that fucks us all, and you know it already. Like when it comes to things that you're actively constantly thinking and worrying and planning prior, like in advance doing it, in advance of doing, then you already know about how unrealistic it is to hit that goal, that imaginary goal that you don't even have, because you already know that it's going to be extremely difficult for you to do in your current level. So what I'm trying to say is this, this quote that I heard from Chris Will's podcast. Chris Williamson, one of my favorite podcaster. Not that I listen to him as often as I did before, but I remember this line from one of his episodes is that we it was something like this. Oh my god, I don't know what just happened. I literally just lost the train of thought. Hold up. So I was talking about, yeah, the first step is just embarrassingly small, that we can't even like the most of the times the first step is embarrassingly small that you can't even tell others that you did something, you know? So you gotta just admit the fact that whenever you are doing something that you don't even know that well, or you even suck at it, or you're kind of falling behind, or you've been procrastinating for a very long time, when it's it if if it has a lot of emotions around it, like shaped emotions or like fermented emotions that you didn't really dealt with for a very long time, then the best approach to doing it isn't just like like head to head, like tackling it everything at once, because it's not going to work. Like you've already tried it a bunch of times before. So you just have to take like embarrassingly like small one step, and just keep on going, you know and it's painful. It actually is painful. It's like feeling like you have to bench press with not even one bar, like not even empty bar, but like you have to use this like shorter bar, but that's even challenging for you. So you got to admit the fact that this is where you are right now. Like I don't care where like what you were thinking before. I don't care how you thought about yourself when it comes to doing this in this field. But mind you, you just gotta keep this in mind that you are now currently in this level, and like it's actually painful. Like knowing brutally agreeing to the fact that like looking at yourself, how small you are, our brain instantly wants to get out of that place. And that's what I experienced a lot when it comes to studying, or even at gym. Like at first, even though I was extremely motivated on in getting jacked, I'm not saying I am jacked already and I accomplished my goal, but at least I right now feel much more confidence in myself when I'm doing it, and I enjoy it. Like it's at this point it's just autopiloting, like not actually autopiloting, but kind of autopilot and flow state, half half. um yeah, and like it's been what, like 8 months, but it genuinely feels like a month. Like I didn't even realize that it has been 8 months, but it's been 8 months since the first day I started training. So everything just starts from this one embarrassingly small step, and it that this embarrassingly small step, it's just an idea. So like, many people just very underestimate, I mean underrate and underestimate this one embarrassingly small step. Like you don't know how capable, like how incapable you are in that field that you fail so many times. The reason why you're failing and the reason why you don't like that is because you're ego lifting. You got your ego doing much more than you actually can. That's why it's overwhelming already and it's challenging you. I mean, it should be challenging and pressuring, but not like you barely can do half of it, but you, since you have to kind of rush it, you're doing much more. You're trying to understand much complex ideas while not even fully grasping the basic ideas. So I think like that's when everyone quits doing something. It's because like they start to kind of like they start with something way too big for their position. Like all you have to do is just start doing more often instead of intensity, like or anything. You just gotta show up as many times as possible. I know it sounds ridiculous for from like that sounds ridiculous from a person who literally isn't, showing up every single day, as I said before. But yeah, I feel like that really is the essence and gist of learning, and the and the mechanism behind how we think of ourselves and how we approach to things that we do not like to do, we do not like doing, and things that we do not like doing, yeah, and things that we enjoy doing. It's just all about frictions and how you approach it, how you think about before doing it. How think about it. If you can immediately be aware of yourself focusing on the cost or the reward. So, like basically, like in case of, just like I said, like make meeting up with your friends, it will instantly give you this spark of socializing. You know, it will give you this gratification and feeling like you're alive, you're being recognized as person just by having some, daily dialogues together. You're just enjoying, you're vibing with your friends. So that's the part that you want. And since you cannot, like you're uncertain, or you don't even know what kind of rewards that you're going to get from doing something that you don't enjoy or you don't know, what we do is just focus on the cost instead of the rewards, because we don't know the reward. You haven't actually felt the kind of reward. And every single time you try, you don't actually know how much incapable you are in that thing. I wouldn't say incapable. It sounds like you can never be, in certain level. Like it feels like you are bad at it. It's not true. You just haven't done that as often and as many times as you should, just like other people who are actually good at doing that. So yeah, I think that's just the fundamental ways how it works.